And one day, a man realizes he has survived his own ambitions. This realization creates a grief few discuss, the grief of the unlived life, the mourning of possibilities, the death of versions of ourselves that never came into existence. Sometimes men are not grieving what they lost. They are grieving what they never became. There is a particular pain that arrives after heartbreak, not merely the loss of another person, but the loss of who you were with them. A man may lose a relationship and suddenly lose his routines, his plans, his imagined future, the children he pictured, the home he envisioned, the version of himself that existed inside another person's eyes. And because men are often taught to move on quickly, they carry heartbreak differently. Some bury themselves in work, some seek distractions, some become cold, some become cynical, some become strangers to themselves. People often ask women how they are after heartbreak. Men are frequently expected to recover quietly, to remain composed, to continue functioning. Yet some men spend years walking through emotional ruins nobody else can see. A broken heart does not always cry loudly. Sometimes it simply becomes silent. Eros, have you noticed how men often speak through jokes, through sarcasm, through humor? A man says, "I guess I'll just work until I die." Everyone laughs. A man says, "Nobody would notice if I disappeared." Everyone laughs. A man says, "I'm hanging on by a thread." Everyone laughs. Because men often reveal pain indirectly. The truth appears disguised, and because it arrives wearing humor, people fail to recognize it. The comedian becomes depressed. The friend who makes everyone laugh struggles alone. The strongest man in the room quietly falls apart. And afterward people say, "He seemed okay." But suffering rarely announces itself dramatically. More often it whispers. Carl Jung believed that what remains unconscious controls us. And many men live unconsciously wounded lives. The father wound, the rejection wound, the failure wound, the abandonment wound, the humiliation wound. Perhaps your father never saw you. Perhaps your mother expected perfection. Perhaps your first love betrayed you. Perhaps you failed publicly. Perhaps you experienced loss before you understood grief. These wounds do not disappear because years pass. Time alone does not heal. Time simply buries, and buried pain often becomes personality. The abandoned boy becomes emotionally distant. The rejected boy becomes desperate for validation. The humiliated boy becomes obsessed with success. The neglected boy becomes self-reliant to a fault. What we do not heal often becomes who we are.